First of all, I'm really very delighted to be here at the prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru University amidst such eminent experts from the university and from the National Apex Organization, National Cooperative Union of India. It's always an honor, Aditi Sanjani ji sir, to meet you, hear you, Mr. Vinod. Thank you so much. And Sanjay Verma ji, long association we've had with you. To introduce myself, I am Dr. Malika Kumar, a teacher by profession, but a learner and a cooperator by passion. Because I did my PhD on cooperatives. It was a part of my, cooperatives was a part of my PhD, but then as I studied it, as I learned more about it, it has become a very important part of my life. I hail from Dehradun and I did my PhD on the financial cooperatives in Uttarakhand. In fact, presently I have taken leave from college to, again, I just came back from Uttarakhand day before yesterday. I went to the villages to visit the facts and to know the ground realities, because 10 years back what it was, I wanted to update myself. Presently, I am also the Vice Chairperson of International Cooperative Alliance Asia Pacific Committee for Cooperatives in Education, and my purpose now is to connect students and cooperatives. So I think this is the right forum to share my insights. I'm really thankful to you for giving me an opportunity to share my views on a topic which is very close to my heart, cooperatives and education. And today, I don't know how many of you know it, today, March 20th, 2024, is International Day of Happiness. And the theme for this year is Happier Together, which reminds us that lasting happiness is in staying connected and in being a part of some bigger thing. And I think this resonates so well with the cooperative. सहकारिता में और क्या है? सहकारिता में यही है ना कि हम कनेक्टेड रहे, हम मिल के कार्य करें, तभी तो सहकारिता से समृद्धि होगी. So I think this is the right day and the right venue. So while learning from all of you, let me just quickly tell you what am I going to talk about. As academicians, as teachers, whenever we have to start something, what do we start with? हम हमेशा बोलते हैं अपने students को भी कुछ शुरू करना है तो कैसे शुरू करें? We always focus on the what, why, and the how, right? So I don't need to tell you what is cooperatives. We have, actually, I would say the stars from the cooperative galaxy here. So they are all eminent persons. But for students who are here, in very brief, what is cooperatives? If you ask them, when I ask my students, जब मैंने अपने students से पूछा, let me tell you honestly, उन्हें ज़्यादा नहीं पता था. ज़्यादा क्या? कुछ भी इनफैक्ट नहीं पता था, और उससे भी ज़्यादा जो पता था वो भी सही नहीं पता था, right? So we would definitely have a separate workshop on as to what is the cooperative business model. But in one line, if we say, it is member-based, member-owned, member-used, member-benefited. And the benefit is not just to the member. The benefit is to the community at large and contributing to the nation. So that's in very, very brief. हमारे देश में cooperatives कब से रहा है? Such a old organization. The concept has been there since time immemorial. जैसे यहाँ पे कहा गया, हमारी families में भी यही तो सिखाया जाता है, मिलजुल के joint family में हम रहें. हमारे देश की नीति वासुदेव कुटुंबकम, we believe in सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः. वो तो हमारी ideology है. So the concept has been there since ages. But as a socio-economic enterprise, it is much more, more than a century, 20 years से ज़्यादा हो गया है, right? अगर इसका हम global perspective लें, so cooperatives, as rightly my earlier speakers have said, cooperatives has been in all different parts of the world in different sectors, right? Coming to India, such a large sector, we would say. In fact, figures अभी आपको मेरे पिछले speakers ने दिए ही हैं. So we have more than 8.5 lakh societies, primary societies. Cooperatives has contributed to the green revolution, the white revolution, the blue revolution. So कितना contribution इस सहकारिता विभाग का है? But the point of concern is, does our generation, the young generation, know about it? It has existed. It has contributed, but then it has not been very much visible. And that is what is required, how to connect the cooperatives with the younger generation, the youth and the academia. So why coming here, what we do is a function of why we do. So why is it important? क्यों जरूरी है कि हम अपनी यूथ को, अपने एकेडमिया को कनेक्ट करें कोऑपरेटिव्स के साथ? Yes, it is very much needed. We are a young nation. हमारी एवरेज एज हमारी कंट्री की 29 years है. So we have the demographic dividend, the demographic bulge. पर अगर यही जो आज हमारा demographic dividend है, if this is not utilized properly, then it becomes a challenge. So we have a huge youth population. So either it is employed, it is given jobs, or it takes its own work. But then how will it take its own work? Doing your own work involves two things: uncertainty and risk bearing. And what is it that can help them to reduce that uncertainty and risk bearing? It is the cooperative business model that can do, because it is that model which focuses on people working together, sharing the uncertainties, reducing the risk. So there is a lot of potential for the youth. It gives them that power. It strengthens their bargaining power. Youth की जो बात, it gives them a voice in their own enterprise. So youth need cooperatives and cooperatives also needs youth. Cooperative को youth की क्यों जरूरत है? Because youth is the power house. वो तो हमारा future है. उनके पास ideas हैं. So we can utilize that energy, that idea, and provide them a platform to turn ideas into action. Coming to the last, what is fine, why it is important, it's fine. Coming to the last part, that is how. एक quotation है, to challenge the what. That to challenge the what is important. That is what institutional economics is all about. But to challenge the how is where deep change begins. So now the question here is, how do we connect youth and how do we connect cooperatives? How do we connect education, the academia with cooperatives? That is, जो सहकारिता और शिक्षा, उनका समन्वय कैसे हो, कैसे उनको हम और बढ़ावा दें और प्रोत्साहन दें? How do we go about it? See, in economics we talk about the demand and the supply side. Fine, the cooperative sector is most willing to attract the youth. It is most willing to train the youth. And setting up a campus cooperative would provide them a platform where they can know more about cooperatives and engage with cooperatives. But an important point here is the demand side. How do we create demand amidst the youth to know about cooperatives? उनमें demand कैसे आए? That is possible when we motivate them. Motivation is required that when we motivate them to know about the cooperatives. और ये motivation कैसे आएगा? जब हम cooperatives की success stories उनके साथ share करेंगे. As of now, जो मेरा अभी तक का experience रहा, whether it is my college, I've been traveling around India and different countries in the world. My experience shows that when you want to involve the youth, हम उनको एजुकेशन और कोऑपरेटिव्स को रिलेट करना चाहते हैं, तो देयर आर टू वेज. वन इज थियोरी, आप बुक्स पे नॉलेज करिकुलम्स में करें, और दूसरा है प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस के साथ. प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस मीन्स व्हाट? दैट आई जस्ट डोंट टेल देम व्हाट इज कोऑपरेटिव्स. आई डू व्हाट? आई शो देम. एक वो है ना कि यू टेल मी, आई फॉरगेट. You show me, I may or may not remember. You involve me and I am going to remember. So my experience as a researcher, as a learner, I also recently authored a book on cooperatives in BIMSTEC countries. So my experience has been to connect the youth and the academia with cooperatives. The best way would be experiential learning, whereby we involve the students and the academia by engaging them. अब हम उन्हें engage कैसे करें? Engage, for instance, one is cooperative conversations as we are having. Another is cooperative tours. Take them on a tour. In my college, I have formed a cooperative research team of students. जहाँ पे I try NCUI का Coop Connect प्रोग्राम में संजय जी के साथ हम engage करते थे और उनको हम वहाँ लाते थे. उससे वो सीखते थे. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कोऑपरेशन में, in fact, I submitted a proposal for internship for the students and my college students, they went, they learned. In fact, मुझे 54 initiatives पे they conducted a study. So the best way to engage the youth would